and Hollis Road. That's moving in this direction, that area of circulation, and it's going to continue to do so as well. So there's the area of circulation that we are concerned with, and we're right in between radar sites, meaning we'll see this kind of jump back and forth, but it also means that we're shooting kind of high up in the middle of the storm versus ground level. So we'll probably be seeing samples from the atmosphere at anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 feet for our velocity data, and a pretty broad signature doesn't necessarily mean we don't have ground truth and a tight couplet in the lower levels of the atmosphere. But this is coming right through Highway 80, moving right toward the intersection of Highway 80 and Highway 19, and moving off to the north and east. Let me get a storm motion on this as well. As it continues to move off to the north and east, it will have the potential to produce a tornado warning. This is moving off to the east at 40 miles per hour. Looking at a radar indicated tornado and quarter-size hail. So those are your threats, along with some 60-mile-an-hour winds as that moves off to the east. So let's go ahead and throw a track on here. We'll get you all the way to Rutland. So Roberta, this is going to move right through your area. 341 moving into Roberta at 4:39. 4:39 is the time of arrival. 5:13 Walden, you're going to be dealing with this, and then 5:15 Rutland, and 5:18 Alberta. So we'll hit Roberta at 4:39 and Alberta at 5:18. Those are your times of arrival of this area of circulation. And if you've been watching our coverage on Facebook Live, looking at a debris signature, a little muddy, and the further we get away from the radar, we run into those issues, but not nearly as evident as what we had in Southwest Georgia. Speaking of Southwest Georgia, we'll head down there, and we'll take you to the Nashville area, and we love to see this. Correlation coefficient, our debris tracker, not showing anything right now, but earlier showing some clear signs of damage. And again, okay, so the tornado warning has been trimmed off. Cook County, you are in the clear right now. As that moved toward the Nashville area, that debris ball kind of dropped. As I mentioned, that area of rotation might have been weakening, but this is the debris signature that we were talking about, just to the north and east of the Adel, moving up 76, kind of paralleling 76, right into Nashville and along Highway 129, or State Road 129 as well. So no confirmed tornado on the ground. As we clear this up and look at the warnings, you can see just red. When we get confirmed, it changes a little bit to a pinkish color. So you can see that the confirmed tornado has lifted and started to see the signature weaken a little bit. And you can very clearly see where that peaked and where we had that debris ball dealing with that couplet, that area of circulation, and thankfully that's weakening as it heads toward the Nashville area. But still underneath that tornado warning, you need to take cover in Nashville immediately. Highway 129, 76, those are the intersection is kind of where we're concerned with that area of circulation going. And we are on in Southwest Georgia on WFXL and in Middle Georgia on WGXA ABC 16 and Fox 24. So we are tracking 2 tornado warnings out across the state of Georgia, Middle and Southwest Georgia. So let's throw up our shear tracker, and this will give us a little bit better idea of rotation that we are seeing and what we're concerned about. Just kind of clears it up, get rid of that velocity data. So area of circulation moving through the Highway 80 and 19 intersection, and that's continuing to move off to the east, eventually going to move toward Roberta, 341 over toward Horns as well. Let's zoom in a little bit and show you where that area of circulation is, and we'll get some road names to pop up. And Reeves Road, this is going to be moving through your area very quickly. If you're near Reeves Road or Charlie Reeves Road, you need to take cover immediately. County Road 94, just a couple miles from your area, maybe a mile or two. This is going to impact you very quickly because the storm motion is very quickly as well. And we'll just kind of follow this off to the east and bring you some more road names so you know where you need to take shelter. So Walker's Chapel Road, as you head toward Roberta, Moncrief Road, and April Lane. If any of these sound familiar to you and you live in these areas, you need to take cover immediately. This is moving very quickly toward you. Howard Road will go back toward Hollis Road, tracking this area of circulation moving in your direction. So big picture showing you where that tornado warning is and where it's going to continue through 4:45. And we'll go ahead and kind of clear this off and show you those warnings again. Once we bounce around on radar, they kind of just fall off. But here it is. Crawford, Taylor, Upson counties until 4:45. That area of circulation right through Highway 19 and 80 right now moving toward Roberta. And this isn't the only storm that we do have going on in Middle Georgia. So let's zoom out a little bit and we'll kind of clear this off. We'll just take the radar right off and we'll track all of the warnings that we do have right now. So we have several moving into Middle Georgia. So this one here moving through Jeffersonville. This storm here moving through Warner Robins and into Bon Air. This tornado warning with that storm heading toward Roberta. And then we have some storms coming out of the Columbus market that are going to move through Middle Georgia as we go through the evening. But that, again, tornado warning goes until 4:45. And we'll take you to Southwest Georgia as well, where we have 2 warnings ongoing. This is going to be for Nashville and back toward Adel. And one is a tornado warning and one is a severe thunderstorm warning. So there's that tornado warning until 4:45, and that area of circulation moving right through the Nashville area right now. We'll go ahead and take a peek on radar and show you where that is, and we'll take a look at how it is progressing. So good news here, continuing to see this area of rotation that did produce that tornado in eastern Cook County, heading toward Nashville. That area of circulation is broadening, but still going to see some pretty impactful weather moving through Nashville and eventually toward Weber and a little bit further as you head toward Highway 135. Let's jump to the south and we'll look and see if we have any rotation associated with this. And a little bit of rotation, but nothing like what we had with that storm just to the north of this. This is going to move through 76, moving right through 75 and 41 as that continues to move to the east. Let's look at other threats. So that's wind data. Producing a little bit of hail with this one. And this is going to, again, potentially produce a tornado with a little bit of circulation associated with that as we head toward 41 and 75. But their area of circulation moving right through Nashville. And again, we are in Southwest Georgia and Middle Georgia. So new severe thunderstorm warning just coming to us, and we'll clear this off and we'll head back there and we will show you the data that's popping in. So new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be tornado possible, and this is going to be for Coffee, Jeff Davis, Bacon, and Appling counties. That's moving off to the east, producing some hail and some damaging winds as well. Of course, we'll keep a close eye on that, but let's focus on the tornado warnings that we have ongoing right now in Middle and Southwest Georgia. So let's take a zoom in on this area of circulation, moving through Taylor and Upson and Crawford counties right now. There we go, and I don't like to see that. That circulation is starting to tighten up, so let's go ahead and we will throw our debris tracker up. And a little bit of debris, but again, nothing jumping out at me saying that we have a tornado on the ground here, but that area of circulation that we just showed you, and we'll go ahead and pop that back up. Actually, let's go shear. Area of circulation moving right through Crawford, Taylor, and Upson counties. And this area of circulation is concerning, becoming a little bit more concerning. So County Road 94, Charlie Reeves Road, back toward Reeves Road. Reeves Road, you're going to be impacted by this almost immediately if it's not over top of you yet. And that'll head down toward Hollis Road as well, and going to continue to push off to the east through the evening. So we'll talk about a few more roads as this continues to truck off to the east, and we are going to see Hollis Road, Walker's Chapel Road, Appling Road, and if you are in these areas, if any of these names sound familiar to you, you need to take cover immediately. Again, Hollis Road running right past the intersection of Winter Drive and continuing up toward Walker Chapel Road is where that area of circulation is going to head. So we'll go to the latest data, and you can kind of see a little bit of a jump with this data. Let's go ahead and get some roads to populate here. As I was just mentioning, Hollis Road toward Walker's Chapel, but looking at the area of circulation heading a little bit further north, Whitaker Road, Hollis Road, back toward Howard Road. These are the areas that you need to be concerned with for this area of circulation. Nothing confirmed yet, but we do have a pretty significant area of circulation kind of moving right toward Roberta, and latest radar scan, again, starting to show broaden out a little bit right there. You can see those reds and greens right next to each other, and then not as much red, but still seeing some very evident rotation, and this is unfortunately going to move right into the town of Roberta, and we'll go ahead and name some street names off in the Roberta area as well. So Highway 80, if you're taking Highway 80 into Roberta, you're going to be dealing with that rotation moving right over your area, and this is kind of tracking right toward downtown Roberta. So let's go ahead and we'll throw a track, and we'll zoom out and throw a track on this. And we'll go out an hour. So this is some town names that this area of rotation is potentially going to impact. So Sandy Point at 447, Horns at 441, Roberta at 440. So you got about 8 minutes or so on the long end before this moves into Roberta. Horns, you're going to be looking at this around 441 as well, and we'll continue to monitor this. This severe tornado warning does go until 445, and we are seeing more and more severe thunderstorm warnings pop up out across Middle Georgia, and they do have that tornado tag on them as well. You can see all of those warnings popping up. Let's go ahead and take radar off. So we do have the one moving through Nashville down across southwest Georgia, just north of Valdosta. We have one moving out of our area through Appling County, and then Dublin, back toward Jeffersonville, Warner Robins, Byron, and then those storms coming through the Columbus area do have the history of producing some severe weather as well, with the tornado possible tag on here. So what you need to know right now, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch out across Middle Georgia. This does include all of Middle Georgia. I want you to be weather aware and be able to get to that storm shelter if a warning does get issued in your area, which we're seeing a lot of warnings issued as well. So new tornado warning issued in the southwest Georgia area, and that's going to be, let me go ahead and clear this radar off. Okay, that's going to be that storm moving through Appling, Bacon, Coffee, and Jeff Davis counties. Go ahead and throw radar back on. We'll go to velocity data, and again, seeing a pretty well-defined couplet from this area as well. So this is going to be from Booker down toward Denton, 221. This is already passing over 268, so if you're along 268, you're going to see things letting up here pretty soon. Give it a couple minutes, and we'll be able to give you the alt clear. But Brooker, down toward Denton along 221, down toward Lehigh, you are going to be dealing with an area of circulation with a tornado possible moving through your area. So let's go ahead and look at the shear marker. And again, we've been seeing a lot of these shear markers pop up, and when we see these greens start to turn to a little yellow color, that's when we start to see that get into the category that we are a little bit more concerned with. But the areas in red underneath that tornado warning with a radar indicated area of rotation potentially producing a tornado. You need to take shelter if you live in Denton, over toward Lehigh, then along 221. And let's go ahead and throw the information up on that. So that warning is going to go until 5 o'clock. So we got 25 minutes on this warning as it moves through Appling, Bacon, Coffee, and Jeff Davis counties, heading toward Alma, along 23 over toward Highway 1, and going to continue to move off to the east. That storm moving 30 to 40 miles per hour. All right, let's do a little reset, and we'll talk about the tornado warnings that we have on the boards right now. So let's go ahead and clear this off. And these, again, are just kind of popping up. As fast as we get rid of them, we're getting new warnings, which is not a good sign, not showing the environment weakening anytime soon. So we have 1, 2, 3 tornado warnings right now out across middle and southwest Georgia. Those are going to continue until 4:45, with this one expiring at 5 o'clock. So definitely dealing with the potential for some tornadoes with all of these. Again, nothing confirmed with on-the-ground tornadoes, but we are seeing some areas of rotation prompting those warnings as well. So here's a look at that couplet as we head toward Roberta. This is moving into Roberta right now. Let's go ahead and, again, name off some street names. So Kirby Avenue, East Agency Street, back toward High Point Road, Davenport Drive, 80, this is pretty much going to follow 80 right into Roberta and continue over toward County Road 110, down toward 42. So this is going to transition from 80, and then it'll kind of take 42 out of town. But the area of circulation just a few miles away from Roberta right now, and you need to be in your tornado shelter into that safe room if you are in Roberta, as this area of circulation still showing some signs of concern. Again, nothing really jumping out at me with couplets as we've seen in the past, but this type of environment doesn't necessarily have to jump out at you in order to produce a tornado, produce a quick tornado. We had one in Bainbridge yesterday that was only on the ground for a minute, 80-mile-an-hour winds, and did some damage. So we need to take all of these seriously as they continue to move off to the east. So let's go ahead and look at our debris tracker once again. And again, nothing screaming out at me that we have debris in the air, but you can see a little bit of discoloration, but we really see kind of a finite just circle of debris when we start to see that debris popping up. Again, no confirmation on this tornado warned storm as it moves toward Roberta, but if you are in Roberta, you need to take shelter immediately. You'll see that area of rotation. And we do have some reporters on the ground that are going to head there and check it out. So let's talk about hail, though. We do have that one tornado warning, but we do have several severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing out across middle Georgia right now as well. So moving through Perry, a pretty good hail core moving right across Highway 129 and over toward Highway 80 as you head toward Jeffersonville and Dublin as well. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and throw our tower cams up, and we'll get a look at what's going on out across middle Georgia and southwest Georgia with our tower cam. So this is what it looks like heading into Dublin. Some pretty significant weather heading your way. Not a whole lot in Mercer or Macon, and definitely some wet pavement after that pretty strong thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm move through the Warner-Robins area. So let's jump back to radar, and we'll take you to southwest Georgia. Again, we got a few minutes left on this tornado warning down in the Nashville area. We'll put velocity data, and I'm liking the looks of this storm right now. You can see that couplet as it produced that debris ball moving just to the north and east of Adel, moving into Nashville now and continuing to show signs that it is becoming a little bit more broad and going to continue to move off to the east. 135, this is going to head toward 135 as well, east of Nashville. Severe thunderstorm warning continues as we head into southwest Georgia, covering Adel, and going to continue to move off to the east toward 129 as well. We're going to be tracking these storms as they continue through southwest Georgia and middle Georgia. The time right now is 4:40. Again, we'll take you up to the next tornado warned storm. Definitely showing some sign of rotation, as you can see there with that couplet, and that's why it was warned. Again, a decent couplet, and we're starting to get pretty far away from the radar once again. So that radar beam, as it shoots out from the radar site, gets higher and higher the further you go. So this could be up 3,000 to 6,000 feet, which could show a pretty a broader area of circulation because it gets tighter as it heads down toward the ground. But definitely a little mesocirculation there moving through the Denton area along Highway 221, and that's going to continue to move off to the east. We do have reporters heading out to some of these areas to survey some damage and bring you the latest information. So we'll touch on the 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that we have moving through a pretty populated area. So Dudley, back toward Danville, you can see a little bit of circulation associated with this as it went through the area north of Danville, which is why we had that tornado tag on that. But that area of circulation now moving across 441. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit. We'll go ahead and throw that shear tracker on. Just shows these areas of circulation a little bit better. So this is moving toward 441, as I mentioned, that area of circulation. But this area of circulation is going to be right along Highway 129, and it's going to continue to move off to the north and east. And we're just getting a new tornado warning. Okay, so that's going to be an extension for this one moving through the Roberta area, and that's starting to show a little bit more signs of circulation as it moves through the Roberta area and moves off to the east. And I told you it's going to take 42 right out of town as it continues moving off to the east. Let's go ahead and throw up the shear marker. And again, not showing a whole lot of shear. As that continues to move off to the east, but definitely still showing some signs of circulation as it moves out of Roberta. So we'll stop this, and you can see that area of rotation a little bit on the messy side, but still showing some circulation right there moving through the southeastern portions of Roberta. So 341 heading south of Roberta. If you're east of that, we're still underneath that tornado warning, but west of 341 back toward Roberta, that area of circulation has passed, but we're not done with the significant weather yet. So let's go ahead and we'll name out, we'll go ahead and throw another track on this, and this is going to continue to move off to the east. So we'll go out a half hour. So this is going to head toward the Macon Airport at about 5:16, Walden at about 5:15, and that area of circulation is still going to be there as well. Etchiconee at 5:11 is under the gun as well. So we'll track this out a little ways to give you a little bit of time to prepare. But if you are in these areas, you need to get to that interior room of your house immediately. So 443, let's head back to the southwest, and we'll track these storms as they move through the Nashville area. I'm going to say that they're going to let this tornado warning expire for Weber at 445. So another minute or so on this warning. But if you are in the Weber area of circulation is becoming a little bit more broad, and we're starting to see that continue to stay broad, which is a good sign as you head 76 over toward 135. So we're going to let that one be for now as it continues to just show not as evident signs of rotation. But Adele back 75, still underneath that severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible, showing areas of circulation through that as well. And we will continue to monitor this one. Let's go ahead. I'm going to switch to this. And that'll give us the information. A lot of warnings and a lot to keep track of right now. So this is that severe thunderstorm warnings for Brooks, Cooks, and Lowndes County until 5 o'clock. So this severe thunderstorm warning is going to go till 5 o'clock for Brooks, Cook, and Lowndes County for the potential of a tornado possible, damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, and the potential for some of those damaging winds. and hail up to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So we are watching another severe thunderstorm warning moving through the Cuthbert area. This is going to head toward Dawson and Leesburg, area of rotation associated with that as well. Randolph County, Quitman, and Clay County underneath that severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15. We're just kind of making stops on the radar as we head through the day. So let's take you back toward Butler, Montezuma, Highway 19. This area of thunderstorm activity going to move through there. Again, tornado possible tags with these storms as they continue to move off to the east and move into the middle Georgia area as well. This one is definitely showing some signs of lightning. Look at all of that lightning. Let's check for hail. A little bit of hail with this storm as this moves toward Royal, Porter, Highway 23, Highway 129, could see some hail. Again, a little bit of rotation associated with this, prompting that tornado possible tag. And this is kind of transitioning into an environment where we're going to have brief tornadoes potentially when we get these storms kind of close together like this. Don't have as much clean air moving in. And of course, still dealing with that tornado warning until 5 o'clock for parts of middle Georgia. So let's go ahead and show you what it looks like on radar. This will likely be rain wrapped as it continues to move off to the east. But that area of circulation right now moving through the Roberta area, that's going to make its way east toward Rutland into Byron, intersecting 75 and 41 once again. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on this warning as we head into middle Georgia, and we'll watch that area of circulation as well. But let's head back down to southwest Georgia, where we do have that warning expired. As I mentioned, computer's being slow on me now. So we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Brooks, Cooks, and Lowndes County. That goes until 5 o'clock. Tornado possible tag with this. Of course, we are watching it, and we'll continue to monitor that as we go through the rest of the evening. But for now, we're going to leave you in southwest Georgia. You're going to stay with us here in middle Georgia as well as we continue that tornado warning. So southwest Georgia, you're going to return back to your regular programming on WFXL. And we are going to continue to keep an eye on things across southwest Georgia as we head through the evening as well. All right, folks, in middle Georgia, we still have some very active weather out across middle Georgia, and we're going to continue to see some active weather as we go through the remainder of the evening. So several severe thunderstorm warnings and one tornado warning out across middle Georgia. So Wrightsville, Dublin, back toward Jeffersonville into Rutland and Cochrane, dealing with some of that severe weather, all the way back toward Thomaston, Roberta. Roberta, you're seeing that tornado warning on the east side of you right now. This is going to head toward Bibb County, in between Warner Robins and Macon. And then we have more severe weather, Butler, back toward Columbus into Eufaula. And those are going to continue to move through middle Georgia as we head through the evening. So let's go ahead and turn radar back on. And you can see middle Georgia just kind of lit up with thunderstorm activity right now. We're going to continue to see this as we go through the evening. Now, this eventually will move through. Let's go ahead and show you that. Let's take a look at the future and show you kind of what radar looks like. So this is what radar looks like right now, very similar to what we're seeing on actual radar. And it's going to move out pretty quickly, but eventually we're going to get some quiet weather in here, but still looking at 8:30, so another 3 or 4 hours, we're going to continue to see the possibility for severe storms. That severe thunderstorm watch with tornadoes possible goes until 9 o'clock and does include all of middle Georgia. So we're not severe clear yet, but we'll start to be able to give the all clear for portions of northwest middle Georgia as we go through the next couple of hours as this slowly moves off to the south and east, and as we continue to get these warnings to expire. So let's go back to radar, and we'll zoom right in on that tornado warning. This goes until 5 o'clock. This does include Crawford County. So it's all in Crawford County right now. Look at that area of thunderstorm activity, and you can kind of see a kidney being shaped, indicating we do have some air being pushed into the storm and a little bit of rotation. So let's go ahead and look at our storm relative velocity, and we will stop this. This is a good sign. We're not seeing as much rotation as what we did, but tornado warning for Crawford County does go until 5 o'clock. This is moving east out of Roberta, right along Highway 42. Let's go ahead and throw the shear marker up. And here is the area of shear that we are concerned with. And we'll name off some roads as well. Getting more severe thunderstorm warnings issued out across Middle Georgia as we speak. So Hamlin Road, Carl Sutton Road, Marshall Mill Road, and Lower Hartley Bridge Road. These are areas that area of rotation is moving toward right now, moving through Crawford County. And as we take a look at where that shear is, where that area of circulation is, that's going to be out across Highway 42 right now. And showing lighter shades of green showing up, maybe even a little bit of yellow tint to it, indicating some weak rotation, but it is rotation nonetheless, and we'll continue to monitor this. But let's throw up velocity data, and you can see that area of circulation that we were talking about, and there's definitely some spin with this, but as this moves a little bit closer to the radar, we are getting a clearer picture and a picture of the lower levels of the atmosphere as this continues to move into Middle Georgia, that indicating the area of circulation at the ground not as strong as what we had, a mesocyclone in the middle levels of the atmosphere. Mesocyclone in the middle levels of the atmosphere doesn't necessarily mean tornado, but it does mean a pretty strong thunderstorm, and that's what we're seeing with some wet weather, some very heavy torrential rainfall, and a little bit of shear coming out of this. So we are watching this closely, but take a look at this. Look at all of these severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in Middle Georgia right now. So from Wrightsville, back toward Jeffersonville, down toward Cochran, back toward Thomaston, up toward Forsyth, southwest Monroe County, Roberta, Butler, Montezuma, all the way back toward Columbus, dealing with these severe thunderstorm warnings. And areas that are a little bit darker, this is pointing things out for me, but all of these have tornado possible tags on them, and that means that there is rotation. It's not enough for a tornado warning, but it is significant enough to catch the National Weather Service's attention, and we're going to have to watch these as they go through the rest of the evening. Thomaston back toward Butler, Montezuma, you can see just the orange box, the same color, indicating the potential for some damaging wind up to 60 miles an hour and hail up to 3/4 of an inch in diameter or more. Still looking at that area of circulation, heading toward Rutland into Byron, Middle Georgia State University, Macon Airport, 4175. This area of circulation is going to try to move into Macon-Bibb County as we go through the next 10 minutes or so. Let me go ahead and put a track on here. We're getting into a little bit more populated area, and we'll get a few more towns populating. But if that tornado warning is extended, these are towns that we are going to have to watch out for. So Walden at 5:14, Rutland at 5:15, Dry Branch at 5:32, Fitzpatrick at 5:37, and Ripley at 5:39. And again, this is going to take about an hour or so before it gets to Fitzpatrick, but start thinking about that severe weather plan that we talk about all the time. Get to that interior room of your house, away from windows and doors as these storms approach. They do have the history of doing some damage, and we are going to be concerned with that as we go through the evening. Again, that tornado warning for Crawford County goes until 5 o'clock, and we're clearly still seeing some evidence of some shear out across Crawford County as we have our shear marker up there. So let's go ahead and we'll head back to Crawford County and show you where that area of circulation is. And we'll pull up velocity data, which is a little bit more instantaneous than the shear product, which is a derived product. So it takes a minute, 30 seconds to a minute or so for that product to be portrayed. So we're going to see that area of circulation moving through central Crawford County right now and continuing to see that warning go until 5 o'clock out across Crawford County. And we're going to start the news here at 5 o'clock. So we're going to be bringing in some reporters and some anchors to give us some information on damage and other things that we've been seeing as these storms do have the history of producing damage, especially in southwest Georgia, with a couple confirmed tornadoes in tornado warnings that we were talking about earlier. So let's go ahead and jump back to radar, and we will show you exactly where these storms are right now. Let's go ahead and take the lightning off, and we'll just kind of clear this up for you. Very similar to the images that I was showing you yesterday, last night, and this morning, with the models, the HRRR, the NAM3K, all of the convective allowing models that we use to depict this, doing a very good job in representing what's happening. And that's why we've been telling you the last couple of days that we need to watch out for the severe weather threat on Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll see it into Saturday as well. But the storms that moved through last night kind of left a boundary that these storms are latching onto again this morning, and it is a very slow-moving system. Let's go ahead and throw up rain totals. We haven't talked a lot about that, but we're going to start to see a flooding issue here showing up very shortly. Look at all of the rain from Augusta back toward Atlanta, and you can see some pockets of some pretty heavy rainfall out across middle Georgia, and guess what? All of that is going to move through middle and southwest Georgia as we go through the next really 12 hours or so. Eventually we'll see this all moving through here. But again, we have that tornado warning in Crawford County, and that's going to be for this cell until 5 o'clock. Let me check with the National Weather Service. Okay. Okay, so National Weather Service allowing that warning to expire at 5 o'clock. As I mentioned earlier, when we get these storms that are discrete, they show areas of rotation a little bit easier. But this storm, this massive storm back in Butler, moving through that area with a ton of lightning, is going to kind of eat this storm up over Crawford County, and that area of rotation is kind of lifted and gone. So we will welcome that as we head into the evening, and that should be the last tornado warning that we have on the board in middle and southwest Georgia right now. Let's go ahead and clear radar. And you can see we have quite a few warnings, especially out across middle Georgia, but as I mentioned, those different colors kind of mean different things. So this lighter orange box just indicating the threat for damaging winds and hail, whereas the darker orange box indicating the possibility for some tornadoes as well. So tornado warning for Crawford County is going to be allowed to expire here in a couple of minutes, and we're going to be checking in with Victoria and Ashton and Kyra and Cheyenne in southwest Georgia, and we'll get updates on the damage that's been done from these storms throughout the day today, and going to continue to do as we head into the evening. So you're going to want to stay right here and watch our severe weather coverage as we head through the rest of the evening, and it's going to take some time before these storms move out. And we are going to, just checking for some updates. Okay, and right at 5 o'clock, we'll be again, going to that news coverage and kind of getting a little bit more verification on damage and things that we've been seeing on radar. Okay, so again, we're going to keep this coverage going as we go through the night. We have news scheduled through the 5 o'clock hour on Fox 24, and you can see that new warning that was just issued. So let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and that should pop back up. The tornado warning is going to take precedence on that, I have a feeling. Let me go ahead and zoom in and see if we can get that to pop up. Okay, so we got a new severe thunderstorm warning, and you can see this is good news. When they start issuing bigger boxes like this, that's an indication that we're transitioning from that discrete cellular, supercellular mode into more of a linear. Doesn't mean the tornado threat is gone, but it's a different type of storm that we are going to continue to monitor. So in just a few seconds, we will head over to ABC. We'll continue our coverage on Fox 24, and we'll be back to ABC 16 as the storms continue to move through, and of course for our news right at 6 o'clock. But for now, we'll send it back to over to Victoria, and we'll get an update here right now.